Hyun-ho believed that drunkards were a nuisance and often wished they would disappear. Out of 7 billion people, it felt to Hyun-ho Kim like 3 billion were unreasonable drunkards. A drunk man caused trouble at the store by consuming products without paying. The man tore open bags of chips and indulged as if they were his own. Hyun-ho managed the drunken customer's aggression by calming him down rather than calling the police. Despite the man's hardships, Hyun-ho was frustrated that others thought it acceptable to spread their misery. Hyun-ho lived in a damp, cold basement apartment, struggling with its poor conditions. As Hyun-ho tried to sleep, he received a call from his mother. His mother threatened to cut his allowance if he didn't answer, prompting him to pick up the call. Hyun-ho admitted to his mother that he was pretending to sleep, and she laughed but warned him about his allowance. His mother advised him to quit studying and help with the family business, but he defended himself. Afraid of giving up on his goals, Hyun-ho promised his mother he'd help with the business if he failed this time. His mother expressed concern about his future and compared him to others who were already married. Though he respected his mother's efforts, Hyun-ho dreaded the thought of working in the family business. Overwhelmed, he longed for a stable government job and hoped sleep would ease his stress. Hyun-ho fell asleep, unaware that a strange dream awaited him. Kim Hyun-ho woke up in a world stripped of life and color, leaving him lost and struggling to grasp his strange new surroundings. Kim's mind raced as he tried to make sense of the empty world, questioning if this could be a dream. But the strange reality clung to him, unshaken by his doubt. In his attempt to snap out of the surreal scene, Kim pressed his face against the surface, only to find it painfully solid, shattering his hope that this was just a dream. A strange voice called out to Kim, adding another layer to his growing confusion as he frantically searched for the speaker in the infinite emptiness. Fear gripped Kim's heart as he wondered if a ghost was present, but his fear turned to disbelief when he saw a peculiar, childlike angel floating above him. Kim's attempt to lighten the situation failed, as the angel shot down his odd request with a sarcastic response. Kim felt humiliated when the angel dismissed his dream theory and reminded him of the pain, making it clear the angel had witnessed his earlier mishap. The angel's mischievous grin foreshadowed Kim's fate as it struck him with a painful jolt of lightning, proving that the experience was no dream. Still in disbelief, Kim asked about his location, only to be told that he had been selected for a dangerous divine test. Kim's refusal met with a grim warning: hell or the divine trial. The angel revealed that he had already passed away from heart disease. Kim's heart sank as the angel's words confirmed what he had ignored. A lifetime of inherited heart disease had quietly claimed his life. Hyun-ho learned the grim truth from the baby angel. His death was the result of his family's genetic curse, heart disease, just like his ancestors before him. Hyun-ho lamented his unfulfilled life, haunted by the thought that he had no accomplishments, no family, and no meaningful experiences. His mind kept returning to his mother, who had devoted herself to raising him alone after his father's death. Motivated by the thought of his mother, Hyun-ho refused to let his life end like this. He pleaded with the angel, desperate for another chance to live, willing to undertake any challenge to return. The baby angel offered Hyun-ho a deal, a series of exams that, if completed successfully, would gradually extend his time on Earth, with a chance to be fully revived if he passed them all. The baby angel explained that after each exam, Hyun-ho would receive breaks ranging from 10 days to 2 months, allowing him to reconnect with reality before facing the next challenge. The angel reassured Hyun-ho that failure would lead only to the afterlife, giving him nothing to lose by attempting the exams. The angel explained that passing exams would grant Hyun-ho karma points, which he could use to gain rewards, strengthening him for future trials. A glowing notepad appeared, displaying Hyun-ho's current rank and his first mission, to defeat the Red Ape. Hyun-ho experimented with the glowing notepad, only to be frustrated by its inability to serve as a weapon or shield despite its unique features. The angel gestured toward the mysterious door, urging Hyun-ho to open it. It would lead him to the arena, where his trials would begin, though the angel gave no hint about the Red Ape awaiting him. Hoping that it was all just a dream, Hyun-ho opened the glowing door. Blinding light engulfed him as he stepped into the unknown, ready to face whatever awaited him in the arena. Hyun-ho wakes up to find himself not in his familiar basement room, but in an expansive, wild forest. The ground under his bare feet crunches with each step, the alien surroundings a stark contrast to his expectations. Hyun-ho, now fully aware of his scant attire, expresses frustration over his predicament and the absurdity of waking up in such a setting, likening himself to Tarzan. Having climbed to higher ground in hopes of understanding his surroundings, Hyun-ho reaches a shallow cliff and is overwhelmed by the sheer size of the forest, realizing its vastness. Hyun-ho retrieves his mission details on a holographic board, shocked by the daunting task of eliminating the elusive Red Ape within a shrinking time frame. Overwhelmed by the bizarre and unclear task of finding a Red Ape, Hyun-ho vents his frustration about the situation, feeling mocked by the cryptic nature of his mission. Recalling the advice of the baby angel, Hyun-ho decides to calm down and think strategically about his dire situation, trying to piece together clues about the red ape. Hyun-ho, piecing together the constraints of his mission, formulates a daring strategy to identify the red ape by provoking it into revealing itself. Convinced of the red ape's closeness due to the short mission time, Hyun-ho feels a burst of reassurance, likening his strategic insight to solving a complex problem. Reassuring himself with the logic of his strategy, Hyun-ho prepares to confront the elusive red ape, believing it has been nearby all along. Realizing the red ape might be stealthily tracking him, Hyun-ho feels a chill of fear, his instincts heightened as he senses its silent watch. In a calculated move, Hyun-ho leans back against a tree, pretending to be overwhelmed by fatigue, hoping to provoke the red ape into making its move. Feigning sleep, Hyun-ho cleverly prepares for an ambush, his right hand tensely clutching a rock, ready to defend against the lurking red ape. Hyun-ho rationalizes that the red ape, yet unseen, is not a simple beast. His belief that it must be of comparable or lesser strength bolsters his courage, readying him for the confrontation. Hyun-ho maintains his guise of sleep, his ears sharply tuned for any disturbance. Inside, he is alert and ready, comparing his weight to solving a math problem. Hyun-ho hears the deliberate crunches of steps and the rustling of bushes, signaling the red ape's approach. His anticipation grows, ready for the confrontation. Hyun-ho continues his act, snoring lightly, as the soft and tender footsteps of the red ape draw nearer, careful yet unable to completely silence its approach. Hyun-ho Kim encounters a red-haired anthropoid that blurs the line between human and animal, confronting him with a visage both familiar and unsettling. Doubting his capability, Hyun-ho feels conflicted about eliminating a creature so reminiscent of a human, his moral compass challenged by the encounter. The anthropoid's aggressive intentions and handmade weapon intensify Hyun-ho's fear and urgency as he faces the very real threat posed by the creature. Caught off guard, Hyun-ho suffers a painful injury from the creature's hatchet, highlighting his vulnerability in this unexpected and brutal confrontation. In a surge of adrenaline, Hyun-ho manages to disarm the anthropoid, but is immediately threatened by its unexpected and ferocious counterattack using natural weapons. The fight escalates with the anthropoid biting Hyun-ho, using every available means to overpower him, deepening his panic and desperation in the fierce struggle. Hyun-ho turns the tide by resourcefully using vines to strangle the creature, demonstrating his quick thinking and adaptability in a life-threatening situation. The death of the anthropoid brings a moment of eerie calm, leaving Hyun-ho to reflect on the violence he's capable of and the primal instincts he had to embrace to survive. Although victorious, Hyun-ho is left shaken and exhausted, reflecting on the brutal realities of survival and the emotional toll of his necessary violence. The baby angel's lack of sensitivity towards Hyun-ho's turmoil underlines the disconnect between the divine entity's expectations and human emotions, exacerbating his irritation and emotional conflict. While the baby angel reveals health benefits from the mission, Hyun-ho struggles with the psychological impact of his violent actions, finding little solace in its reassurances. Hyun-ho ponders the irony of his competence in dangerous situations compared to his normal life, reflecting on the latent capabilities triggered by extreme stress. Hyun-ho steps into a new phase of rest through the glowing doorway, burdened by the harsh lessons of survival and the violent capacities he discovered within himself. Hyun-ho Kim woke up, checking his phone to see it was 11 o'clock. The familiar sight of his basement studio brought him unexpected joy. He was alive. Doubting the reality of his experiences, Hyun-ho uttered board retrieval. To his astonishment, a board appeared, confirming his harrowing adventures in the arena were indeed real. The board listed his class and remaining karma, along with a countdown of 11 days until his next deadly challenge. Remembering his last narrow escape, Hyun-ho resolved to strengthen himself. Hyun-ho declared Karma Prize, prompting the board to offer him choices between acquiring a new skill, an item, or transforming an object. With 500 karma at his disposal, he weighed his options. Hyun-ho pondered his main skill options, aura control to surpass physical limits, and spirit summoning for conjuring and utilizing spirit strength. The idea of having a spirit ally appealed to him more. After deliberation, Hyun-ho chose the spirit summoning skill, spending 400 of his 500 karma points, reserving the remainder for further enhancements. With his remaining karma, Hyun-ho queried the board for weapons costing 100 karma, searching for something that would complement his marksmanship skills. Hyun-ho discovered a magical gun that suited his marksmanship skills. Despite some concerns about its reloading process and limited range, the gun's simplicity and safety features appealed to him. Convinced of his choices, Hyun-ho confidently finalized his selections on the board, securing both the spirit summoning skill and the magical gun for his upcoming challenges. Experimenting with his new abilities, Hyun-ho summoned the wind spirit Sylph, who appeared as a charming kitten. He also tested the functionality of his new magical gun, finding reassurance in his choices. Content with his preparations, Hyun-ho felt well-equipped for the next exam in the arena. With zero residual karma, he knew he had invested wisely to maximize his chances of survival and success. The Hyun-ho Kim firmly decided not to waste any more time and called the landlady to vacate the basement immediately, planning to retrieve his security deposit once a new tenant was found. The Hyun-ho Kim called the convenience store manager, lying about being hit by a motorcycle and fracturing his leg to quit his part-time job, despite the manager's pleas. The Hyun-ho Kim called his mother, who was pleasantly surprised to hear from him, making him smile without realizing it. Their playful banter revealed the close and teasing bond between the Hyun-ho Kim and his mother, as she humorously guessed his reasons for calling. The Hyun-ho Kim unexpectedly informed his mother that he was quitting his civil exam and returning home immediately, leaving her both surprised and intrigued by his sudden decision. The Hyun-ho Kim expressed his deep respect and love for his mother, moving her to tears with his heartfelt declaration of filial piety.